Hello everybody, this is Ronar, and welcome back to the Chimera Squad Impossible Experience. So, let's get right back into it. We've got a brand new recruit, so let's start with this person over here. Now, Torque is pretty good. In terms of single target damage, we already have Blue Blood, and Godmother also does like a little bit of damage as an AoE, but overall we already have all the AoE and single target that we need. So we don't really need Godmother. Burge is pretty cool. I really like his neural network mechanic. In fact, it's probably my favorite mechanic in the entire game. Favorite character so far, actually. Although I think he's a little bit underpowered compared to the other units. It takes Verge a little while to actually start getting started, while people like Torque and Godmother can just immediately start taking their actions and start being very impactful on the entirety of the battle. So overall, I think I'm much more of a fan of these two on the sides. Torque over here has the ability to bind, and this is really strong. She gets extra accuracy while she's tongue pulling, so once you've gotten her to a really high rank, she's a guaranteed disable on high priority targets, including things like the elite boss units. Not boss units, but like the elite units. The sorcerers, praetorians. Torque can just bind them and they're just done. So it's really good. Torque also doubles for utility as a dodge tank, actually. If you don't have a tank on the team, which we do, we have Axiom. But if you don't have a tank on the team, Torque serves as a really good tank with her insane dodge stat. Comes with 20 natural dodge, give her a Mach Weave, give her the abilities that give her even more dodge. She actually easily breaks 100 dodge, so basically she just takes 1 damage every single shot. It's really, really powerful. Definitely would recommend Torque for just about any team if you don't know what to pick.
Are we good?
I don't know. Did you get a lobotomy?
Can't say that I did.
Then no, we aren't good.
Well, at least things are back to normal.
The dialogue is, it builds up the characters. It makes them fun and exciting to be around. Whether or not it makes them likable is a different story, but it paints the characters. Alright, so we got our abilities there. Blue Blood over here has 2 choices. He's got Ever Vigilant versus Warm Welcome. I've played with Ever Vigilant before, and it is definitely what I would believe to be the better one, but I'm gonna try out with Warm Welcome just to see what it's like. I'm pretty sure the best build for Blue Blood is Ever Vigilant, followed by this thing, and then this one. I forgot what it was called, but it allows you to do extra damage on your final clip, or your final bullet. So yeah, let's do that. Let's take Warm Welcome. Try this out. Axiom over here has 2 choices. He's got Shrug It Off and Aftershock. I've been told that Aftershock is actually kind of broken, so we're going to actually not take Aftershock, and instead we're just going to take Shrug It Off. I wanted to try out the left-hand perks, but I think it's better to pick the ones for Axiom at least, pick the ones that are guaranteed to work. There's a couple of perks that seem to be broken, like there's one where Cherub can get locked into like his own cover slots for some reason, and then he just can't move, and that bricks your save file, soft locks you, unless you use consoles to get your way out of it. But for Axiom, we're going to take Shrug It Off. This goes off quite a bit, quite more often than you think. Sometimes it doesn't go off like for a long period of time and you're like, damn, I'm unlucky, but oftentimes it does go off, and it does make quite a bit of a difference when he just takes 1 damage instead of a crit. It's really nice. Alright, and we finally fixed up the hobbled scar on Patchwork, which is really awesome. We can put someone into training. I'm thinking what we'll do is we're going to put Axiom into training. Just get him some training right there. Afterwards, we can put Patchwork back in. Torque is better off against the other factions. Torque isn't particularly good against Sacred Coil. Not that she's bad against Sacred Coil, but there's a lot of mechanical enemies, so you can't poison them with the Viper Poison. And the other thing is that she can't bind the enemy mechs. She can bind androids, but not like the boss units. So I'm gonna leave Torque out for a bit until we actually need her for Grey Phoenix, as well as not Sacred Coil, Progeny. And instead we'll have her work down here. Now we have 75 Illyrium right now, so I think that should be enough to get the enhanced armor, which it is. Perfect. Now, I would go for the Illyrium because we do need more Illyrium, but you get very little Illyrium for the amount of time you put in compared to the amount of intel, so we're just going to put Torque into the intel. Normally on like regular missions you get like what, anywhere between 30 to 50 intel. This gives you like 60 intel, which is huge, while this gives you 20 Illyrium, and normally you get like 20 to 30 Illyrium-ish from doing the other mission things. So you get more from just doing missions for Illyrium. Much better trade-off. Now, we are maxed out on Anarchy over here, so next round we're going to have 1 point of Anarchy. We could do this right away, but I kind of do need money, and the cost for doing this first is that this place generates one more point of anarchy. I don't think that's a particularly big issue. I don't consider anarchy as a very hard lose condition to the campaign. Unlike in XCOM 2, where it's like you actually have a good chance of losing to the Avatar Project if you don't contact regions fast enough. In this game, you're given so many ways to reduce the city anarchy that it's not really much of a threat. I think you have a higher chance of losing just from doing missions with like a bad team or doing missions and just getting careless. So that's what I'd be more concerned about. City anarchy rises by 1, that's completely fine. Let's head back to the city map.
The epidemic known as the Fade has reached
The
City
Fade.
31, concerning many of our hybrid
Delirium would be nice, not really necessary. It does max out this place, but that's fine. Eventually we're gonna have to do this. I think we're just gonna do the storyline thing.
It will take time to develop a cure. Some hybrid citizens are unimpressed with the lack of progress.
The Fade affects us. Only us. The gene therapy clinics could solve this. Open them back up.
More as the story develops. Celio Dash reporting for Channel 37.
I like to listen to the dialogue sometimes. Sometimes I miss them even after multiple playthroughs or I forget what they're saying. It builds up the world quite interestingly, and I feel like it's worthwhile to pay attention to the lore here, because probably by XCOM 3, a lot of this build-up is going to lead up into the world building for XCOM 3. It's mostly just an enjoyment thing, not really playing the game better or anything like that. It's part of the experience. Now, over here, we could consider doing this. Projected encounters is 3. Now, how I decide whether or not these missions are worth doing is actually dependent on
Chimera
whether
squad.
or not...
City count. We've hired Mayor Nightingale.
Okay, that's nice. So, over here, projected encounters is 3. Now, how I determine this is, if the projected encounters is 1, that means it's likely a rescue civilians mission, and that is a very dangerous mission to go on. And I don't mean it's dangerous as in it's a hard mission to do, but if you're a little bit careless, if you can get like a little bit lax, or you just get like 1 extra berserker spawn than you normally would see, then things get really troublesome, because berserkers just one-shot civilians in the back of the map while you have to deal with everything else, and that's really, really troublesome. If 3 civilians die on that mission type, then you actually just instantly lose the campaign. It's very, very bad. So I prefer to not let that happen and avoid doing those missions, and you can tell because those will always be 1 encounter missions. A lot of times people will say, oh man, I had bad RNG, as in like the numbers game, right? Like, if you shoot at an enemy with a high percentage shot and you miss, and then they take a shot back with a low percentage shot and they hit, and then you're like, oh man, bad RNG. Well, this is a different type of RNG, spawn RNG. Are the civilians spawning back towards the berserkers? How many berserkers are there? How many other types of enemies are there? Dependent on the types of spawns you get, it could either be a really nightmarish mission or it can be a really easy mission. And while it's, for the most part, I think we could like boast like maybe an 80% and 90% win rate against those mission types, all it takes is for like the 10% chance that you lose the mission to just instantly tank your campaign. Your campaign just bricks because we're playing on hardcore. So overall, I think the best thing to do is just not doing it. There's 2 types of strategy in strategy games. There's tactical and strategic strategy. Strategic strategy would be like this, deciding the missions before you even go on them. Now, there's some people that would be like, oh man, we can be tactical geniuses, we can go on this mission and outplay all the enemies, and yeah, that's fine too, we could do that too. But I think from a lot of examples throughout history and stuff, generally in history, when you're fighting a war, just straight up logistics wins the war. It's not like heroism, like well-played tactics or stuff like that, and that does affect things, but logistics are really what wins wars, and this is one of those cases where it's just the logistics of going on those types of missions is just naturally a negative thing for you rather than a positive thing, so we avoid that. Now, we can do this one because it is 3 projected encounters. I don't really mind doing the 3 projected encounters one. But I think I'd rather just continue the story. I think we can reduce this next round anyways. Next day, we're just going to have our vigilance back up, and we can just bring this back down. So I think that's completely fine. We'll ignore that, and we'll just do this instead.
When hostile forces feel overwhelmed,
let's go do a story
they may
mission.
attempt to cut their
Now,
losses
we did get
in
some
a
supplies
spectacular
earlier, and we do have Mockweave.
But they might destroy evidence or activate a bomb as you approach.
Let's throw the Mockweave on,
stop them.
probably Blue Blood, and then we'll give the Plated Vest to Claymore. Now, Mockweave is what I consider to be the best armor type in the game. 50 dodge is incredibly insane. it basically means 50% of the time when the enemies shoot at you, you just take like no damage. It's absolutely bonkers insane. I don't know if XCOM Chimera Squad uses the XCOM 2 calculations for crit and dodge, or if it uses XCOM 1 calculations for crit and dodge, but if it does use the XCOM 2 calculations, then this becomes even better, because it just means 50% of the time when the enemies even point their gun at you. It doesn't have to be like when they hit you. If it's like 50% of the time when they hit you, that would mean like they would take a 65% shot at you, and if it connects, then there's like a 50% chance that you'll dodge it. But I think with this one, it means you have a straight up 50% chance to dodge it, and then even if they connect with you, like out of the 65%, only 15% of it is a chance to like true hit, while the 50% is like a dodge hit, or something like that. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong about this, but Chimera Squad is using the XCOM 2 engine. I have no reason to believe why they would change that up from XCOM 2. But yeah, that's that. Let's go do the mission. We got no other small items to equip on our guys, I think. It'd be fine. Let's do it. Other good armor items include the plated vest that we just picked up, as well as Mind Shield. I think Mind Shield is actually very underrated. Mind Shield's particularly good against Grey Phoenix.
This is a sacred coil front.
Yeah, Grey Phoenix.
Normally, that's not enough to move in. But an informant says it has something to do with humans who've gone missing.
Okay, we're here at the Viper Bar. A little bit of a detail right there. Successful shots on enemies will crit. This entrance is very good. We're just gonna go right through here. I'm gonna send in Patchwork first so we can immediately kill off androids before they had a chance to set up self-destructs. And that is gonna be our team. Let's do it.
Going in.
Squad moving in. First things first. Kill the aggressive enemy. So let's start with that turret over there. Nice shot. A little bit of damage. I'm gonna have Blue Blood shoot at the turret because he has the least amount of damage on his gun. We should really be using this high damage gun on some of the other targets like that commando, but he's a little bit hard to hit. We'll just go for this android here. Nice, another one downed. Blue Blood can finish this thing off with the Lancer shot right there. There we go. And finally, all that's left is the android and the purifier. I'm actually going to try and... I know Patchwork can one-shot the android, so I'm not really worried about that thing. I'll shoot at the purifier instead, I think. Perfect. We got an easy capture on that purifier. We can easily capture the commando if we wanted to, and we can take out the android no problems. So let's start with that. I'm gonna actually reprogram the android. If we do take control of it, then they'll just focus on the android instead of shooting at us. And also the purifier will use the flamethrower on the android. He doesn't know that his own mech is immune to fire, which is kind of weird. I'm gonna do a chaining jolt on this commando. That should make for an easy capture right there. And this is why I think Patchwork is so good for Sacred Coil. Being able to mind control something and remove it from the enemy turn, as well as just do damage or take out another android, is just too strong.
Now.
Unfortunately, this guy managed to call in reinforcements, which is actually super annoying.
Shifting my position.
Gonna have to deal with that. I don't know where the androids will come in from. So what we'll do is we'll just set up an Overwatch down this corner, see if we can catch them before they get into this room. This android cannot set up any captures, unfortunately. Our androids can subdue, but not the enemy androids. I'm just gonna Overwatch these doors and just try to get some damage off on the enemies coming in. And finally, Blue Blood over here. Blue Blood can get a subdue on at least this commando up here, so let's do that. Get him for me, Blue Blood. Thank you very much. Interesting how that did not burn the Overwatch. I'm a little bit confused as to why that didn't actually make it go off. Interesting. Alright, let's move up and just continue overwatching each of these doors. Try to catch the enemies as they come in.
Deep breath. Pick your shots.
Just like that. And of course they all go through the other door. It seems like one of them did go through this door though. A little bit of damage on that other android over there. Another enemy coming in from here. And this guy should straight up die from all three of our Overwatch shots, I think. There we go. Crumpling on the ground just like that. Now then, we got an easy capture on that purifier. Patchwork would be able to knock this thing out, but Patchwork can't actually take that action. I could also just Claymore and kill everything if I really wanted to. That's kind of tempting. I think we'd rather just not take damage. This is a long mission.
Shrapnel.
Better just not take any damage here. I think if I could go for the captures, but I'd have to take a little bit of damage here, and unfortunately I can't actually... I'm pretty sure if I Overwatch here, we should still be fine. We can have this guy destroyed for us. There we go, 2 guys down. We still get a capture on this guy down here, so that's completely fine. Go knock him out. And there we go. Target out.
Down and out.
Let's keep on going, shall we?
While you're there, grab me a souvenir.
Yeah, we're a little busy risking our lives here.
Fine, I get it. It's unprofessional to ask for a multi-fingered discount.
Bring me a souvenir. Aren't you doing that without Isn't that basically just stealing? Never thought you were that kind of person, Whisper. Patchwork first. I think always patchwork first. It's okay if Terminal has her weapon disabled. All she really does is heal.
Ready to go.
Let's do it. Alright, I really like this map. I'll show you guys why later. This map is really cool. Let's start by destroying that turret that's aggressive on us. Let's get some damage off on it so we don't have to worry about this thing doing anything crazy. There we go, turret downed. Then all that's left is to get off some damage on the remaining enemies. We'll ignore the mechanical ones because Patchwork can deal with them, and instead we'll just focus on the ones that are near us. Like that commando there, if we can get him. A little bit of damage, not too bad. I'll get off some chip damage on these guys, mostly so I can possibly get some captures. Wanted to try and get some captures. I don't know why, but Terminal ran all the way in the back, so she can't actually do any captures for us anymore. Alright, and we also have a secondary objective. Now, this type of objective, it's purple, then that means it's not mandatory, but you do get a lot of stuff out of it, so I would recommend trying to go for it. Now then, we got an android down that corner. That is it, okay. What we should do here is have Patchwork grab this right away, and then just take out the android. 2 birds with 1 stone. Pick up the chest first, that's a free action, we might as well do it. I think you're allowed to do it even after you finish taking your actions, but we'll just do that first. Alright, take out the android, make sure we don't have to worry about that thing taking its actions. There we go, android down. After that, I wanted to have Claymore knock out that guy for a capture. Unfortunately, Claymore can't actually reach. So instead, I think I'm just gonna have Claymore come up to this Purifier and knock him out. That should be fine. Let's do that.
Check your fire.
Get some damage off on this guy. Not gonna be a kill. Did max roll though, no crit.
Granting true freedom.
Little bit of damage on Terminal. So why I really like this map is it kind of paints a little bit more about the world here, right? They're making Andromedons fight each other, which is kind of interesting. And there's even an Archon staff sticking out of that Andromedon, so they kind of just like took random alien weapons. Is that like... Because that's like a bench to have all your drinks while you're watching this steel cage match going on. Interesting. Very interesting. Just having Andromedon fight clubs. I think that's kind of interesting. Number 2 is about to take an action. We could try to deal with that Purifier, or we could just knock this guy out. I think Terminal's within range to knock that guy out if we can take care of this guy. So let's start by trying to take care of this guy. We just have to connect 2 shots. I could also try to Deadeye, but I don't think Deadeye has a chance of killing. I guess we could try that. I think the best play is to Deadeye first, and then try to connect the second shot with a normal hit. And the thing is, even if we miss, we disorient with the first shot of our gun, so that's really cool. And in fact, if he's disoriented, the Purifier can't do anything to us. Purifiers only have flamethrowers and grenades, and since their only actions are counted as abilities and disorient cancels abilities, they basically can't do anything. So we can just knock out this commando over here.
You're under arrest.
There we go, another capture. I think that's 2 or 3 captures so far.
Great, I'm out.
Let's get this guy next. We could have healed ourselves, but I think it's better to just prevent him from getting off more damage rather than healing ourselves. We can take our time to heal ourselves against this enemy over here, so that's fine. What we'll do now is get Patchwork all the way up. We could Chaining Jolt to bring him down to 3 HP, but that's only a 50% chance that a subdue will work. A shot will actually guarantee that we can get the capture. Or no, or you could just crit him for 4 and then... Oh no, that's enough, that's enough, that's enough. Yeah, that's enough, okay, that's good. So now all we have to do is capture this guy. Let's just run up. Run straight at him. I could take one more round to heal up Terminal, but then we take more damage and then we have to take more rounds to heal up. We might as well just get rid of this guy right now, I think. There we go.
Down and out.
Target downed. So far I'm thinking I kind of like the Disorient ability on Blue Blood's pistol. I don't know if I like it more than Ever Vigilant.
Back alley fighting
I think I probably don't.
No data on
it's definitely good against Sacred Coil because being able to disorient enemies is like being able to disorient the purifiers is really helpful. I'm thinking it's actually probably slightly better than Ever Vigilant because it also allows you to disable other things, like when you're fighting Grey Phoenix you can disable their Dominators, or if you're fighting Progeny you can disable their Acolytes. That actually sounds pretty good. I think I do like it more. Alright, through this entrance we go. This should be the final room. Let's do it. We are allowed to use our Gremlin Refresh.
Going in.
So let's get that going. I probably should have also used Patchwork's Hollow Target thingy, but unfortunately she can't use it from the first slot and I chose to go through this door instead. Going through the other door and using the Hollow Target thingy did have its merits actually. It's not that bad of a choice. In fact, it definitely wasn't too bad of a choice at all. Get some damage off on that Purifier. We'll shoot this guy down. Or not. Shoot that guy down. Okay, we got something. Maybe we can get this guy also. That's okay, we gotta capture, that means. Alright, another thing that I've noticed is that going through the left door on this mission is actually much better than going through this door.
This is a disposal area. For people.
Uh-oh.
Still signs of life. Don't let them activate that machine.
Alright, so if they stay on this machine for more than one turn, then you've got problems. I think that ends the entire campaign. I've never let them stay there for more than one turn, so I can't actually tell you exactly how many turns they're allowed to be on there, but I'm assuming it's pretty bad if they stay on here. Now, there's 2 entrances on this map. I've noticed that, when I go through this side, I'm super far away from everything that's just trying to liquefy, and it's really, really rough trying to get over there unless you have something like Axiom or Zephyr who can just get all the way over here and prevent them from doing stuff. But I think if you don't have a team that can get into the enemy squad like our team over here, going through the left door is the right choice here. And if you guys were wondering, yes, these are not procedurally generated missions. These are all actually, these are all, what would you call that?
Frying circuits.
These are all predetermined missions, I think is the word for it. Try to take control of that thing, and we do succeed. Perfect. Android on our team, and we can just easily taser down this turret. Make sure that thing doesn't get in action.
Melting hardware.
There we go. Turret destroyed. Now that guy is trying to reach the objective. He didn't even reach it, poor guy. Now that thing's self-destructing on the other side of the wall. I'm not actually sure if we can do anything about it, but it moves up, so that should be fine. Patchwork should take an action before number 10 Android takes a move, so that's okay. Then all that's left is to stop Commando number 2, as well as number 3 Guardian. Number 3 Guardian's kind of annoying. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do about him. This is also the final encounter for this mission, so anything that we don't use up is wasted. So let's go take a use with, I'm okay with cease-firing my own android. I'm not planning on using that thing to fight. Mostly just that thing's just gonna absorb hits for us, really. Then after that, we can just come up here and knock out this commando over here. Get a capture.
Target subdued.
Not too bad. Now, unfortunately, that guy will be able to set up a shield onto everything else, which is super annoying. I find that these Guardians, they give like a really high amount of HP. Now, you might be tempted to fight through the Guardians, but instead I think the better choice is actually to take care of everything else and just beat them through their shields, especially if they pose more of a threat to the Guardian, in which case they do. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm gonna take the Deadeye on the Commando, I think. start with that. We do get the kill, not bad. Then we can attempt the android. I'm definitely not going to kill the android with this, so instead I'm just going to try to go for a Deadeye. Actually, no. If I take out the shield, then Patrick can do it. Yeah, that's fine. Well, if we were able to take out the shield. Let's have this android over here prime the self-destruct. We're gonna get ready to make this guy blow himself up onto these enemies, and that'll also help me shred some armor on the Guardian or the android, so that's good. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a reliable way of hitting this guy. We could try to hit this guy, though, and we also have a teamwork that I never used yet. Let's teamwork with Blue Blood so Blue Blood can take more actions. Try to get some damage off on that android. There we go, not too bad. Alright, so Patchwork can get rid of the android for us, which means Blue Blood's gonna come all the way up to here and try to, is that a purifier? I think that is a purifier. I'm just gonna try and get some damage off on the Guardian, I think. There we go, a little bit of damage, nothing too crazy.
Position.
He is gonna light Blue Blood on fire, that's okay though. Or not, he'll try to go for the android instead and fail completely. Fine by me. Alright, Patchwork, you are going to get rid of that android for us.
Blowing some fuses.
Let that thing just blow up in their
Don't
face.
knock precision.
And there we go. A little bit more damage, not too bad. Got rid of his shield also, which is really awesome. This guy's standing behind an explosive barrel. I'm pretty sure if I blow that up, I should be able to hit him with our claymore as well as that poison
I have
thing.
an angle on that bomb.
So let's go detonate that really quick. Perfect. That was not poison, it was acid actually. Didn't actually inflict any damage on him with the acid. That's okay though. That should be an easy subdue right there. We can also blow up this guy over here, so let's do that really quick. Alright, a little bit of damage, not too bad. And with that, we should be able to subdue the remaining enemies on the map and get these captures. Let's do that.
You weren't supposed to hit back.
Alright, let's start by oops, wrong target. That's okay.
You're under arrest.
You just run into the goop maker. Alright, he's on the goop maker. Stop him, Patchwork. Put him down.
Target is under arrest.
Nice work. And with that, mission accomplished. Got 8 captured enemies, so we got plenty of intel. And there we go. Let's head back to base. And that is going to be the end for today's episode, but it was tons of fun. We finally got another storyline mission out of the way. It was quite a long one, actually. But it's a very by-the-books mission. I expect that we won't encounter anything that's particularly difficult early on. I'm expecting to see like the hard missions happen in Act 2 and Act 3, probably. That's where I usually had most of my difficult missions. But yeah, that's that.
Good work shutting down Sacred Coil's genetic testing program. City 31 can sleep safer tonight.
Alright, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode.
The world you live in.
The world we live in?
No, it does not fit what we were promised. A life without pain. Clean city centers. An order to the world that made sense. But now, the zoo is run by the animals. And they're content to smear the walls. Do not adjust. Do not change.
Do not adjust, do not change. That's the #1 way to be bad at XCOM. Adjustment, changing. Learning from your mistakes, that's the secret to progressing as a person. Just becoming a better person. Alright, but hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. It was a lot of fun. If you guys don't know, we've been streaming Chimera Squad for the past few days since its release, although now that release hype has finally died down, I think we've already played a lot of Chimera Squad on stream. I'm going to be switching over to playing Long War of the Chosen, so if you guys want to watch that, definitely head over to my stream. The link will be in the description. But yeah, that's where we do most of our hardcore content, and the Long War is really a treat. If you guys have never played a Long War modded version of XCOM, I highly recommend you guys come check us out, especially if you wanted more XCOM content. That a lot of the stuff I'm telling you right now is like ways to optimize your play, but definitely vanilla versions of XCOM games do not need to be optimized for victory. even Legendary XCOM 2, even Impossible XCOM 1, you don't really have to like play super optimally throughout the entire campaign in order to win, but Long War is a completely different story. That's a mod that puts all of your skills as an XCOM player to the test, and I think it's a really cool mod. It's my favorite game, and I've totaled a total of like 6,500 plus hours on just both Long War 1 and Long War 2. It's a lot of fun. Definitely come check us out. Say hello. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a good episode. See you guys till next time, and bye-bye. Thanks for watching.